Now, Jeb Bush got humiliated by Donald Trump in the Republican primary, so much so that he and the entire Bush family have refused to even show up at the convention or support Donald Trump against Hillary Clinton. Now, Jeb Bush is back, and he's going to attempt to make fun of Trump by calling him low energy. Now, if you can remember during the primary, that's exactly what Donald Trump called him. Now, for this, I go to the New York Times. Quote, over breakfast with a handful of leading Republicans last month in New York, Jeb Bush made clear he was still smarting over seeing his own presidential ambitions extinguished by Mr. Trump. Quote, he seems low energy with that teleprompter, Mr. Bush said, gleefully repurposing Mr. Trump's favorite criticism of him, according to an attendee who requested anonymity to discuss a private event. Oh, here we go with that teleprompter again. Here's the thing. Almost every politician uses a teleprompter, except for Donald Trump. For the most part. That's why he sounds like an idiot. That's why he sounds like a third grader. Well, I'll get to why that's actually a benefit to him later. But first, yes, Jeb, he's so low energy. That's kind of pathetic, dude. Really? Look, Trump embarrassed you. He Donkey Konged you in the head. You had to essentially ask people to clap for you. That's sad and pathetic. And then, when he was done with you, he went in to crush your protege, little Marco. Embarrassed him so bad. Amazing. Now look, Jeb, how did you get beat by him? Well, it may be because you're sitting there having elite breakfasts with the club. Look, Donald Trump is richer than you, but he ends up speaking like a human being. Yes, a human being in third grade, but at least he talks like a person. Hillary, by the way, has that same problem. She's fake. She's too rehearsed. She's too fake. It's the same thing with Bush, and the same thing with most of those mainstream politicians. All right? People don't like that. People are kind of pissed off. They don't want a fake politician. That's why they liked Donald Trump. That's also why they like Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is on stage flailing his arms around, and he's like he's talking like a person, and he's talking about policy. That's one of the reasons a lot of people flock to Bernie Sanders. Yes, this guy sounds genuine. He's a genuine human being. He's not like one of those Washington robots. He's not like Hillary Clinton. He's not like Martin O'Malley, who was trying way too damn hard. He's not like any of those guys. That's why Bernie Sanders was the perfect anti-Trump. I just wish the Democratic Party had gotten that memo. Anyway, the other problem here is that Jeb Bush, like Hillary Clinton, represents the elite. See, Jeb's part of a family that's already had two presidents. That entire family is steeped in establishment politics, and the people want no part of it. Not this election cycle. No, people are pissed at the establishment. We're in a very anti-establishment mood. And so Jeb shows his face and is like, I want to be president too. Yeah, too bad, buddy. We don't want another Bush. We certainly don't want another Clinton. So we're going to go and find alternatives. Now, some people have found an alternative to be Trump. I think that's a terrible alternative, but that's what people have found. Now, as I said, the people don't want any part of Bush, right? So Bush can sit there and make fun of Donald Trump and his low energy and his teleprompter, right? But guess what, dude? He still crushed you and your millions of dollars. Why? Because you don't understand people. You are locked in that Washington bubble where you just don't get it. Now, one more thing. I realize that Trump's campaign, part of it is driven by racism and fear. That's what the Republican Party responds to. That's why all the Republicans should have crushed him in the beginning. Instead, you treated him like a joke, you played patty cakes with him, and you completely underestimated the anger and the racism and the hatred that was bubbling up in your party all along that you allowed to fester. And not just Bush himself, but all of the Republican leaders. What did you think was going to happen when you run on this anti-immigrant, anti-gay, anti-abortion platform? You're going to get people who are very pissed off. And anti-welfare, you're going to get people pissed off. And that's exactly what's happened. And of course, because of that, you've got Donald Trump, who was the Pied Piper to all of this anger. And Jeb can continue to have these fancy breakfasts with his establishment buddies. But one thing he can't do is walk away from what he helped allow happen.